morning, everyone. Today we will be discussing about the plot diagram of the story Cadaver by Alberto Florentino. So first is, who is the protagonist in this story? So the protagonist in this story is Torio, which is the main character. So at the same time, Torio is the antagonist. What makes Torio the antagonist? It is because he is the one. He contradicted Marina and Carding to bring him to the dispensary, and also from his experiences of injustice from the past that caused him to disallow Marina on Carding once. Next is the setting time. Setting time is afternoon, while the setting place is the edge of a cemetery in Manila. So, internal conflict. What is internal conflict? Internal conflict is all about their secret business. At the night, they forced to open the grave and robbed all jewelries from the dead in order to earn money. In this situation, it shows how life is so hard. They tempted to do bad things and desperate enough just to earn money easily to provide their needs. So, in this internal conflict, it's stated about their secret business where they steal things from the dead people because they are very desperate in order to earn money easier. But they are not thinking about their consequences, right? So, as we all know, when we work, we need to work hard in order to earn money. But in this story, they want to make things easier for them. So they decided to steal from the dead people because as they believe that it is easier to steal from the dead rather than from the living people. So next is the external conflict. External conflict is when Carding wanted to call a doctor to check Torio's condition, but Torio doesn't like the idea because they don't have enough money to pay for the services. In this situation, it shows unfairness where poor people denied and not treated well. Unlike the rich people, doctors will pay their full attention to their rich patient who can afford to pay them. In fact, it was supposed to be free because it was a public hospital. So in the external conflict is about the unfairness of the poor people and the rich people. So for me, in this story, the hospital was supposed to be public, so it must be free. And for me, if you are in the hospital, unfairness must not be applied, because in the story, even if you're going to die and you are having a hard time, they won't have their full attention to you because you don't have enough money to afford the hospital. So next is the author's theme. So the author's theme is first is survival, because characters suffering from poverty, they find a way to provide their basic needs in order to survive. So in this story, it is all about survival because they are poor and they need money to survive in this world. But in this story, their way of surviving is in a bad thing. So next is debt. Because Torio and Carding taking advantage with the unprivileged like the dead is great sin. In the play, the curse from heaven is said to be karma. So, as we all know, if we have done something wrong in this world, we all have consequences. And one of these consequences might lead to death. So next is the symbolism. The story symbolized that the ill-fated hero have nothing more to do but to accept the nature of life. This story reminds us to live life in a good way, or else death barges in. So yes, that is true. So we need to accept how nature of life is going to be. So the story states here that we need to live life in a good way, because if we live our life in a bad way, maybe it would lead us to death, or it would lead us to bad consequences that we are going to face. So next is foreshadowing. The interior of a squalid room, one-room dwelling located on the edge of a cemetery in Manila. The walls and roof made of empty fruit boxes, tarpaulin, bamboo, and cardboard patched together, threaten to collapse any minute. So next is irony. It is a business that requires you no capital. All you need is a good and strong stomach. This is ironic because it is impossible to build a business without a capital. Capital is a large sum of money which you use to start up a business. So in this story, their business is, stealing from the dead people, and as we all know, it doesn't require any capital because it is a bad thing to do, right? So next is rising action. What is rising action? So rising action is a literary term used to describe an important part of the story. So the first rising action is Torio is very sick while lying on the cot. Second, Carding panics as he finds out Torio's condition when Marina let him know why she is worried about Torio. Third, as Carding sent Marina to the dispensary, he interrogated about Torio's condition until Torio answered him, guessing that his sickness came from the tiny wound from his food. So the third one is Torio was really sick because of his wound on his foot, and Torio Torio didn't believe that it came from his wound. So next is the fourth one is while waiting for Marina and the doctor, Torio and Carding argues about Torio's distrust of the doctor to came over and check him. So here in the fourth one, Torio really distrusts the doctor because he knows that they will give him unfair treatment. So the fifth one is in the middle of their argument, Carding and Torio discuss about the myth of the old folks about the accidents concerning the death. So the fifth one is Torio and Carding was discussing about the myth of the old folks. So this is the one that if you get wounded from the cemetery, you're going to die. So the sixth one is before Marina had arrived, Torio told Carding if they start being sentimental in this world, they will starve to death. Seventh is when Marina informs Carding that the doctor come with her, Carding became questionable and Torio contemptuously distrusted the doctor. So in the seventh one, here you can see the unfair treatment of the doctor to the poor people. Eighth one is, however, even Torio is on his worst condition. He insisted not to go to the hospital since they don't have enough money to pay, and even if they are there, the doctor will still give them unfair treatment. So yeah, that's it. And the last one is, Torio regrets Marina because he knows that Cardin couldn't take care of her, as well as he does because Cardin couldn't be able to continue their business without him.
The climax, or the most relay part of the story. Okay, so when Torio was about to reveal their secret business to Marina, a business that has no capital but only a good and strong stomach, Torio ended up explaining to Marina about their business and stealing from the tombs and graves of the dead in the cemetery in order to earn money. They stole valuable things like rings, earrings, necklace, and even gold teeth. The following action of the story Cadaver. The following action is the problem is already resolved. Then, number 10. Marina was being fooled by Torio and make her believe that those money which Torio took home was earned from the waterfront. Number 11. Torio goes and explains how it was easier to rob from the dead than from living because the chances of getting caught were smaller. Number 12. Torio claims how he was resentful towards the elite because they were buried with jewelry and their expensive belongings. Number 13. He said that the dead will not need those treasures in the afterlife while he was struggling to get by. And the last part of the story is the resolution. The resolution or the conclusion of the story, or the, shall we say, the ending. Torio was dead because of being wounded from the corpse in the cemetery. And they have the beliefs that when you get wounded from the dead, it means you will be the next one who will die. And that's would be all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.